Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Jersey and today we are gonna be working on part 2 of our coastal entry build. And we're gonna be working on 3 specific things. One of them is gonna be the parking lot, 2 is gonna be another bridge, and 3 we're gonna be working on a overpass. Yes, overpass. So when I was working on this build and I was working on the parking lot, an idea hit me and I kind of make it a little more complicated on myself, but it's what we want, right? We want to see what can we do on Dinkum that's more creative and pushing ourselves, pushing the structures, pushing the city layout, the town layout, and I wanted to try it. So we went ahead and did it, and I think the end result came out really good. So I hope that you guys like it. I hope you guys are enjoying this video. Before we start explaining everything that we're doing, I want to give a thank you for all the likes, for all the comments, for the community that we're growing. The channel is growing every day. I'm very thankful the way you guys are reacting to the videos, joining the community, and the way we're talking during the comment sections in our videos, and it's just so great to hear from you guys all the time, because I truly want to make sure that what we're doing here in the channel, the builds that we're doing, is something that you guys want to follow, want to do, and that you guys are truly getting inspiration so you guys can keep building your islands in such a way that eventually you guys are just masters at this. But okay, so let's go back now and talk about what I'm doing right now. So right now, my vision and what I have been trying to accomplish is now we're gonna make a parking lot, right? And the parking lot down the road, I'm hoping that we're gonna make motorcycles, put boats, put anything eventually that has to do that you can do in a parking lot. We're gonna put it there. But I've never done a parking lot, so I pictured this will be a cool idea to do, and just give us another something different in the island that that I haven't done, right? So then after that parking lot, we're gonna have this other main road that's gonna go all across the town as well. But I have 2 rivers right now, because the area that I pick, this little section of land is in between 2 rivers. So we're gonna have one bridge leading to one side to connect to the other side, and then this road is gonna go under an overpass. So we're gonna have a bridge that's gonna lead us to another tier of the island, but then we're gonna have the road's gonna go over, under the overpass, and the other section of the overpass is gonna be on water, over the water, then over the road, and then it's gonna lead to another section of the island that's gonna be on a higher tier. And then at the same time, we in the parking lot is gonna be kind of like a tiny dock where people can push their boats or anything else into the river. So yeah, I can't wait so we can get to that part of the video, because it's kind of exciting to talk about, and the way it look at the end, yeah, it's neat. It's very neat. Okay, so the parking lot. So this section, this corner right here, is still there even to the very end. I can't decide if I want to take all this dirt out and just have more water hitting the structure once we build the bridge. So, or do I want to plant, or do I want to put grass? I haven't decided still just yet, because the main thing that we're doing in all of these videos right now is creating the main layout. And then we're gonna go back slowly and decorate. We're gonna put the benches, we're gonna put the light posts, we're gonna be adding slowly all the little things that will make it more unique on the island, especially the decorations. So right now we're gonna be clearing this area. So I do gotta get myself another compactor, because it's running out of battery quicker than I expected, and I'm doing a lot of this work right now that is gonna be leveling. So I am gonna try to work towards another compactor, but while the compactor is charging, and since I can clear that part of the land right now, So what I decided is, I had this little dock right there, just a little walkway, and that was it. But I've been looking at pictures of piers, and I was like, man, I kind of want to make a pier that is longer. And even though I finished this one, I wanted to make it longer, but at the moment, I was kind of like thinking, I wasn't sure just yet on the build, because we're gonna do something different. But since I liked it a lot, the way this pier came out, I am gonna make it longer, and then at the very end, it's gonna have like it's gonna look more like a T, and it's gonna be like a T shape at the very end, and I want to make it go deeper into the water so we can kind of see depth, and that's the plan. But this was a little test run, because what I wanted to do right here on the side is put the stone pillars, because when you look at pictures of piers online, right, the piers usually is floating over the water. They're kind of long, and then you see like all these legs, you know, because they're elevated. And I was thinking, how can I make that look happen, that it's not just a big wood of block, right? And I added the pillars, and for me, right, the way it looks right now, when you look at it right now from far away and all that, I actually like the way that looks. It just kind of gives it a little something more to it, to the little pier. We added the fence, and it's just small right now. But I do probably, maybe the next video, or maybe since I already kind of did the pier, I may not do it on video and just do it off camera. That way we continue working on the other builds, or I may do it on camera. And I haven't decided which way to go about it, but it's definitely gonna go longer. I want to get to the point where it's deep in the water, so kind of when you get at the end of the pier, it just looks deep and it looks cool, and that's what's gonna be my approach to the pier right there. So here I'm just still gonna be clearing this out. Right now we're trying to make the complete space that I want for the parking lot. And then eventually, that's when it starts clicking what I want. Because originally was gonna be the parking lot, and then we stop, and then we were gonna go over the bridge, and then we're gonna start the next section of the coastal town. And then at the end, it was gonna be like a little more, just to finish it with some greenery or something like that right behind the parking lot. But this idea came to my head about the overpass, and I got excited. It opened up more possibilities on the third tier that I kind of wanted to build in the future, and how the bridge is leading towards that. I think it's gonna be like really cool, because I did want to go. Of course, we only about that. There's gonna be another half going behind it, right? Right now we're working kind of still like in the center of the entryway, of the center of the coastal town, because then everything is branching out. It's just I had to make the right layout, so then we can keep branching out to left, to the right, and towards the back. And the back is still kind of, you know, it's gonna be kind of deep when we start pushing ourselves back. So here I was measuring how big I wanted the parking lot. So I was imagining at least the motorcycles. If I was gonna park the motorcycle, or if I was gonna park the tractor, how deep I wanted it to be. So I decided to go 3 deep for the parking lot, and then I put 2 sidewalks for now, and we just kind of closing the area, right? So we can get a feel to it. And then here I needed to finish the entryway, adding the other bush. Okay, so right now you see me, you're seeing me add a lot of bush right now, and not a lot of ferns, the fern plant just yet, because I haven't decided where exactly I want the ferns to be. So what I'm doing is I'm going kind of the easy route. I'm just doing the bushes. I'm just planting the bushes, because at least I'm getting the area connected, and then as they grow, I'm gonna see exactly where do I want to change things as things are growing. Do I want a flower here? Do I want a fern plant here? Do I want to keep the bushes? And then the palm trees as well. Right now I kind of try to envision which of the 2 palm trees do I want. Do I want one that looks just straight, or do I want one that's gonna curve? And the curve, I don't know which route the curve is gonna go on the palm tree because it's very random, but that's what I try to do. I try to envision, okay, if I put a palm tree here, do I want the palm tree to be the straight one, or do I want the one the curved? And then also the other ones that I'm using is the banana trees right now. The banana trees is they're very similar to the palm tree, right? They don't grow as tall. It's a different type of green, and it's gonna bring some yellow to the build, right? So when the banana trees produce the banana, we're gonna have some green and yellow together, and then the purple flowers. And I think yellow and purple is gonna look really good. I like how the purple flowers already look against the sand. So in some area we can plant it on top, and so the whole greenery, the whole of that aspect, it's gonna be. Right now I'm just laying the foundation, and then we're gonna go back and fix it the way that I feel like it needs to work. But the good thing is about that is that for you guys, is you pick what you want. If you already know what kind of plant you want to use, go ahead and do it. Don't feel free in the greenery and the palm trees. Right now, the coastal town, I'm trying to use is the 2 palms and banana trees. But you guys can use the normal trees, whatever trees you want, the pines, anything. You guys want to decorate with red flowers and any other type of flowers, just go ahead. Don't feel. I'm just trying to work with the tropical items in a way, because we're in the tropical zone, and I'm trying to use sand and tropical grass. But if you guys want to use the other grass, if you guys whatever you guys envisioning, don't forget, I'm just giving you the layout, and then you guys are gonna work with the layout and then make it your own thing. So whatever you guys feel comfortable, whenever you hit your inspiration, you're like, this is what I want to do right here, I'm gonna tweak this in another way because it works better for me. These are the items that I really love and really like, then go ahead. Okay, so these are the gay palm wood fans, but they look so good just as fans. And as long as you don't put nothing behind it and nothing like that it makes the shape a little bit different, because then it'll change the shape. Like right now, I couldn't put this fence if I went blank. The hedges were in the same level, because and then the hedges will try to attach, and it will create this weird pattern, and then they won't look like fence anymore. So by just putting the palm wood gate fence just as a fence, it looks good. It just gives it that little vision. So basically what I was doing there, I was just trying to match it to the other side, because it's kind of like the entry way to the parking lot, and I'm just trying to make it kind of like equal and the same. So here, what I'm trying to do is now is I'm envisioning how we're gonna get out of the parking lot and then curve into now, because it hit me and I was like, okay, so I know I want to create the overpass now, and I know where basically I got after the fence that I put in, it's gonna be the bridge, right? And I was like, okay, so I'm changing what I already did on my notebook. On my original notebook, it was just gonna be a road, right? But before I started making the overpass, I needed to make sure that now the structures, there had to be some changes that I needed to do, especially since I changed a little bit of the design. So I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna go with the road back here, and it's gonna end there, and then I'm imagining it's gonna go over the road. And the one thing that we gotta remember is when you're gonna place a bridge and you're gonna put anything under the bridge, a lot of the stuff, it won't let you put anything under the bridge, but it will let you put the patterns. So when you're trying putting the bridge and testing it out, at the very end, we're always gonna have to take out the bridge so you can put the patterns that you need under it once you're sure of everything, and then you can put the bridge back on. But I might be getting just a little bit ahead of myself, so let's rewind a little bit and keep talking about what we're doing right here in the parking lot. So the parking lot is coming together. So this row, eventually, I was imagining gonna be 3. That's why I never took one more row of that dirt mountain right there, because I was thinking I'm gonna go 3, but then I realized that my front street of the island is 4 wide. And then when I was working on this bridge, I was trying to make it the best way that I can, right? And I was just gonna use just one bridge. So bridges are just 2 square wide, and that's it. But there's something off about it. I don't mind it when they're the one that you see, those other 2 in the front bridges right there. It works out great. But I feel like when they're attached to the main road, because it's a road, and then you hit the bridge, you go over the bridge, and then you're gonna go to the other side. I feel, especially when I was editing the video and now rewatching it, and the way that I'm thinking is this bridge is still gonna stay here, but what I'm gonna do is make the road 4 wide now. So we're gonna add one more road to the road, and then it's gonna be then the sidewalk after that. And then what I'm gonna do is, instead of being a single bridge here, it's gonna be a double bridge build, and it's gonna be 2 bridges going over the water. And of course, since this is a river, here's where we're planning. I always want the boats to go, so when you're rowing or you're jet skiing, I want you to be able to go under the bridges. So of course we're gonna make it higher. This one is just a tad higher, just for aesthetic. So when you're coming in the island, you see the first 2, then you look back, you see that third one, and basically I wanted that third one to fall in a design, in a view aspect. I wanted it to fall between the other 2. So here you see me, I was like, okay, well, I got one side where I wanted it to line up with the one bridge. So this one, I had to line it up with the other one, and I kept checking, and I was like, okay, so I need to keep taking dirt, I need to keep moving it. So I wanted everything to match in a good way. So I decided that I need to take it again off, and we're gonna move it one more time towards the back into a kind of like center. So when you're viewing it, when you're walking in, when you're walking by, the view of all the bridges is very cohesive. And of course, this one's 1 level higher than the previous 2. That way, we have a little height difference, and it's just more pleasing to the eye. I find it for myself that's a little more pleasing to view, instead of everything just being equal, and then it's kind of like part of the bridges are blurring depending how you're looking at it. But right here, that view is just nice. It's just it just works out the way you kind of want it to work out. So the way I like to approach a bridge is basically we do a lot of testing all out. Once I'm sure, then I start putting exactly what I want on putting the tiles, putting the paths. Let's go ahead, put the steps, and then like always, I build little structures on the side so we can put some rails. But all this part of the bridge is the bridge itself is gonna stay the same. So if you're following along and you're making it the right height, this bridge right here, that one is gonna stay exactly the same spot. It's just I'm gonna put another one next to it by extending the road one more to the side. So instead of just being 3 wide, the road is gonna be 4 wide. So if you wanna make the road, at least what you see on this video, if you're following along, if you wanna see and you're making the road, right? Go ahead and make it 4 wide, because the very first thing that I'm gonna do in the next recording is take 2 layers of that mountain for now, and so I can put a road and then I can put a sidewalk. So that's the vision. That's where we're gonna be at. So if you're following, just go ahead and feel free to do that, because as of right now, it's not gonna change, because I do gonna put a double bridge right there. That way, it's just gonna be very pleasing and aesthetic with the road. It's just gonna align correctly, and it's gonna look good, and it's gonna go, you know. Okay, so here I was just here's gonna be another bridge eventually that's gonna lead from the road towards the other side, to the other island on the other side, and most likely it's gonna be a double bridge. So I can go ahead and let you know that right now. And originally, like I said, it was just gonna be a little bit greenery right here, because we had the river. Originally, of course, in my original plan, I was just going to fill part of that river to do the structure that I wanted. But since I decided that I don't want to do that to the rivers, because I want to keep the rivers the way they are, so we are now approaching things a little different. So I've been tweaking all of my designs that I did, but like I said earlier in the video, this idea to create an overpass came into my head. I thought visually and design aspect, and to create something cool with the rivers and with the water, and something different that I have not done like that, is I thought it was gonna be very, very good, right? So I was like, okay, so if I want to do that, then I'm gonna have to have a right here somewhere, and that's why you see my guy standing there. I'm thinking, okay, then how wide do I want to go with this overpass? At first I was thinking just one bridge, right? And I was thinking, oh, well, I can do a one bridge, but then it wasn't gonna look impressive, right? Most overpasses that you see on the highway, in towns and stuff like that, they're usually very wide and very big in structure wise. And of course, I know our bridges can go very deep and they can go very long, but I didn't want it to just to go from one side to the other. I wanted to have like a middle, and then you see these cement pillars, and then they go to the water, and then you put another bridge on the end and then attach it to the other one, and then that way there's like more structure and more design and more, and let's just say just more to it, right? So I was like, okay, so if I'm gonna do this, then I'm gonna go up. I'm imagining I'm gonna go up the stairs, and then there's the bridge. But I just didn't want just go up the stairs, that was it. So I did a little kind of like a little lookout point, that if you go up the stair, there's like only one square, and then you can go to the left or right, and then you can kind of walk to the front again and just kind of look towards the pier, towards the front of the island, just kind of a little lookout point. But it's not big enough to put seating at all, so it's just more, it's more to give it a little more body to the build, right? So that and that's what I was thinking on, and I was trying to process that without having to put it all down in the notebook. I was just like, okay, so it should be simple enough to do it, right? And I'm gonna give it a try. So I started putting the stairs and then climbing up and figuring out what height do I want to go. So I figured I want to go to kind of like a second tier, because eventually I'm planning to do a third tier on this coastal town. So I didn't want to have the third one just right away. So we're gonna go with the second tier. So second tier is about 4 squares high. I believe that I calculate 4 or 5. It's about yeah, let's just say 4. And I need to find for sure how tall is my second tier, but I want to say right now 4 high, maybe 5 high, and then that's what I call the second tier basically. So right now all I need to do is keep cleaning this area, and this area has a lot of stuff that we need to clear out. The good thing is, as I'm clearing all of this, I'm getting a lot of materials that we are definitely gonna be using on all this coastal town island, because everything is tropical materials. That is absolutely stuff that I need. So it's been kind of neat, because every time I clean it up, I'm cutting down the palm trees, the bananas, I'm getting all these grass seeds, I'm getting all the wood, I'm getting just everything that I exactly need for this build. I'm just getting it back, and it's been so helpful at the same time. So it's kind of nice that the theme that I'm going with is tropical, and at the same time it's in the tropical area, so everything that you get back is exactly the stuff that you're gonna use for the build. So okay, so what you're looking at is I'm going back and forth here, because I'm trying to envision I'm trying to envision where the middle will be, I'm just trying to picture, okay, how the water's gonna come in. So I know I need to get to the river at some point, where the road is gonna go up where the road is gonna go under the overpass, and how much space do I want, and it's just kind of, I just have to keep calculating in my head, and this is the most wing I've done winging it without a lot of design aspect, because since I was already building in the video, I kind of didn't want to stop the video and just to do it. It's just kind of like the motivation is there, you know, the inspiration is there. So here I was trying to figure out if I want to go to with the green hedges. I ended up not doing the green hedges. I ended up doing the palm wood fence. That way it still feels more with the town. It's right now the palm wood, it's really flowing in this town really well. The one thing that I'm a little nervous about all this palm wood that I'm using is that it's making maybe the town look a little bland. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's just too much of palm wood everywhere. Originally I thought that would have been cool, but I don't know if I need to mix up different type of woods eventually, and it's not a hard thing to do, because that's basically you come back in the future to different areas after you have a little breathing room, relook at it again, and we can do some test runs on different the wood colors. Maybe we can do something with dark wood, maybe we can do something with gum wood. It's just in different area to kind of make it break a little bit instead of just being so palm wood everything. Right now I'm conflicted because I don't feel like I don't like it. I think it looks good. I'm kind of like questioning myself if it's too much palm wood or not. Like it's making the build too bland. So it's something else that's going through my mind as I'm building this. Sometimes you kind of question yourself, you kind of doubt yourself when you're doing something, and of course I bring Nestor and she helps me through it. She picks some of the fences, because at first I wanted to use white in some areas, the white fence, but right now she stated, and the way she explained it to me is, you know, she aesthetic wise she does prefer the look of all the palm wood, you know. And I did bring her in, and we were trying to use some gum wood in some areas, but she still did prefer the palm wood. So right now everything is still palm wood, everything is staying as palm wood, nothing is changing. It's just it's me, you know. I'm trying to decide if I'm overthinking it or not. But that's when you guys come in, and you guys are always helpful. You guys give great comments, great input, great advice sometimes, suggestions, and so I like that. And so I'm excited to see what you guys are gonna be putting down in the comments, because I definitely read them. I definitely value all those comments, and I want to see your input. So because part of building this town is building it together. Okay, so here again, once again, I came back over here because my compactor is charging. So what I'm doing right now is looking at all the area, things that I still needed to fix, things that I still need to do, and I'm taking now the time so I can kind of plan out this overpass that I'm trying to figure out. So I'm looking at it from a different angle. I'm trying to envision it, of course, and see how can I move on. So now finally the compactor is finally charged. So here we go again, and this part is long. It's just we're just clearing this whole section. I gotta get now all the way towards the river, and that's where we need to get, so then I can make all this happen for sure, you know. So it's gonna be a lot of cleaning. So as we're cleaning and all that, you know, is how are you guys doing? You know, how are your islands? Who's following along on the build, or what kind of inspiration are you guys getting from this build? You know, I know I'm receiving a lot of comments, and they're great, and I love a lot of you that are already taking inspiration from this video and from this series. But I am wondering what are you guys liking the most so far about it? You know, because it's gonna be great information for me to know for future builds, for future activities that we are gonna try to do here. But you know, I do hope that you guys are using, especially that you guys are using the slow down feature in YouTube, because after you guys watching, you know, the first run through and hearing everything that we're talking about, hearing everything and my explanation on why I'm doing the things that I'm doing, I hope that you guys are using that slow down the video feature, because it does help. It does help a lot to slow it down, to see exactly how many tiles I'm going I'm counting or not, because I do try to remember how many tiles, everything is high, or how deep are we going and stuff like that. But I know it's gonna be a lot easier when you guys are following along, and especially if you guys slow it down. Okay, so right here is the beginning of me thinking, okay, where is the beginning of the bridge? Where is gonna be the middle? Because I want the bridge just to land in the middle. How big do I want the water pocket to be? And then another bridge that's gonna go past the road. So I'm making my first idea, and I want the bridge to go one more high, right? So we enter the platform, we hit the cement, and then we gotta go one more stair, and then we hit the bridge, right? And that's the idea. So I was like, okay, I want the bridge to be a little bit higher, so just to have a little more height, so a little more elevation. So I was like, okay, so we got the bridge. So now how far do I want it to go? So I was looking around. I kind of I pick how many tiles we had separated from one end to the other, at least right now where I envision the end where it's gonna be on the row. So I pick right in the middle, and I did one from the row to that middle pillar. I did want some separation a little bit. I didn't want just to be right next to the road, right? Or right next to the sidewalk. But what I forgot is that I do need another one. It has to be a double pillar, because one bridge is gonna end and then another one has to start. So part of my planning didn't came out just right. I wasn't thinking it completely through, so I only added one pillar. So eventually, once we get to that point, we had to add another pillar. So once again, I had to put the compactor to charge, and I definitely 100%, I'm gonna be working probably on my off camera, especially when I'm at work, I'm on lunch break, and I can play on the Steam Deck. I am gonna grind. I need another compactor, because there's so much to do on this island, and it's just taking forever to do it with one. So hopefully by the next video, you guys are gonna see me with 2 compactors. Because that's gonna be my next focus. I'm gonna be working on that really hard to make that work, because I had to stop so quickly, but at the same time, by stopping, I'm able to work and start testing, and that was the other thing. By being able to put the compactor to charge, I'm able to check my builds right now. So now I can do some testing, I can look at it, I can envision it better. So now we're doing the bridge run. I'm counting right here where it should end and where, and actually, let me see right now. If I'm gonna expand the road, actually I have to go one more back. So because I have decided now, right, that not during this process in the video, but we were talking that I'm gonna make that road four wide. So yeah, the bridge is gonna that last square, that last pillar that I did, I'm gonna have to push it one more to the back, but that's an easy fix. I'm not too worried about it. Okay, so right here, what I'm trying to do is like, okay, I don't want the water just to come straight to the fence, right? So I want a little bit of just a little bit of a give. That way when the water comes in, it's not just straight there, and just to give it a little bit more of a little bit of a shape, a little bit of something. So I was kind of planning, okay, where's the sand is at, I'm not gonna dig, but where it's just normal there, that's where we're gonna dig down, and we're gonna go 3 to 4 levels deep, and that was gonna make it more for the eventually, because that was another idea that it just popped into my head. It's like, hey, this could be a little dock where we launch boats, and then you launch it under the bridge. It just, I don't know, it's aesthetic wise, I thought that it was gonna work out great. So right here, what I was doing is I wanted this both sides of the entrances, both sides and the entrance of the parking lot to kind of match completely. So I went ahead and took the banana tree, I planted where it should go. I added 2 flowers on the other side. I went ahead and added another palm tree, and I'm just kind of like tweaking a little bit while I'm waiting for the compactor to charge again. I knew some areas where I wanted to add a little bit of light, So, and of course this is the palm wood light, so it matches very well with the fence, matches well with the bridges, and it's gonna be a combination between the two, between this light and this normal street lamps. Okay, so here in the pier, I was trying to decide if I wanted some illumination, but every time I looked at it, it just didn't look right. I don't know, didn't really like in any way that I put it, but I know I'm gonna extend this pier even farther away, so maybe it will look better in the T shape, because that pier, I'm imagining it's gonna go more to the deep waters. We're gonna make it to a T shape, and then we're going to see how it looks. So maybe we'll eventually put lights at the end, but at that moment it just didn't look pleasing. It didn't excite me, and so for now I just like, you know what, I'm just gonna wait. It was getting dark, and I just went ahead and went to the next day, so we don't have to work in the dark, and grab the compactor nicely fresh, and here we are. So what we're doing right now is basically digging down, because my next test is I wanted to see how deep I needed to go, and I think it was, right now we went 1 deep, so we're going to the second one, so I think it's 3 or 4 deep, and then eventually we're gonna let the water come in and see how everything looks, and see if the vision that I have is gonna be working. But one thing that I do love is how the pillars, those cement blocks, just look as you're going down. You know, it just feels like you're in this structure, you're in this thing that, you know, it's just, I don't know, it just makes it feel very impactful to me. And when we did the test, when we finally break this and the water comes in, that's when it really clicked to me, and I was like, yes, this looks really good. It really made the build come alive when that water really rushed in here. It really made it fantastic, you know. And I can't wait till we get there to do that part of the video, and we're getting closer, you know. At least this video is not an hour long. It's more the traditional time of the videos that I usually end up making, half hour, 40 minutes. But yeah, so okay, so the next stage is, now we need to clear this part over here, and that way we can get the full feel, the full immersion of what are we trying to create here. So yeah, so now we're just gonna be digging, you know, and I'm excited. I'm truly hoping that you guys get very inspired when it comes to this build, because I want you guys to do this. I really do. I want you guys to make overpasses in your islands. I think it's gonna bring something extra into everybody's build, another way to think and design, and to when you do your road placement and your road layouts, or even in your rivers, you know, you guys might be thinking, I can add this here, and then this is another road that's gonna lead to another section of the island. So as this build comes together, and where it's gonna, because imagine that the overpass and the bridge is another road. So it's another road that you can take, that you can visualize all the parts area of your islands for both directions, from left and right, but at the same time it's leading to another section of the island, to another level of the island. And I think that's something that really excites me, because it's creating more layers on top of layers in the island, if that makes sense. So here I was trying to do a little rework. I kind of wanted to, I want the water to go around the pillars, so because I did like how it looks on the right side. So the left side, I kind of was like, you know what, I want the water to hit the pillars and to kind of go around and kind of wrap itself around the pillar. And so that's why I kind of dug some of that part out, but not yet. I've still, it hasn't hit me to do the little boat dock there, that we're gonna just where we can launch boats into the river, because it's kind of cool, you know. It's like when you go to the beach, and you got those places where it's just to they kind of look like parking lots, and people are backing up their boats into the water, in So that was kind of envisioned. That's what kind of hit me when I was trying to do that. So that's kind of the idea behind it. But right now, the more I was looking at this, and the more I felt like I was like, and I'm just happy, you know, because the idea came, and I thought that I was like, man, I think this could work out really good. I think this could add something more to the island. I think people can use this in their islands. I think it's gonna be something really good, really like wonderful, motivating. It's just, it's kind of like a whole different type of structures. It's another way to think about your roads and layout placement. So I do have to now do some rework on my layout, because I don't know where exactly we're gonna lead this, because my next, what I originally had behind the parking lot, was something a little more flat. But now that I have the overpass like that, I want to see if I can raise it up. So I have some planning to do, definitely. But it's exciting, right? It's really exciting. So here is when I started thinking, okay, all right, so it just hit me, and I was like, you know, I seen those places where people park their cars, and then they get backing into an area, and they can drop their boats, and I see them close to bridges. I seen them in rivers. I seen them in the beach, and I was like, you know, I think we can make something here, something that can work. And of course, I used the stone pillars because I didn't want the stone pillars to touch the fence, because and then it kind of they don't look like stone pillars. So, and that's why you saw me here kind of moving things around, just back and forth, just trying to get a layout and a placement of something that I would like, that it will feel good, between the lights, between the pillars, between the barrels. So here I'm just gonna go back and forth, and you see how the fence and the pillar, and then just makes it a little more than just a pillar itself. I didn't like it. I want just the pillar. I just want that. So I'm gonna be trying a couple things here until we get to a place where I feel confident of that I like. At first I was thinking putting the flower boxes. They're also palm wood and all that, putting the flowers. But once I did that, I feel like it hides the pillars. I'm like, no, that's not the look that I want. I want to see the pillars, because I feel like the pillars gives the look that I'm looking for, especially once we have the water. Once we put all that water in there, it's just gonna feel good. Then I was thinking, okay, I can put two boats side to side, and didn't like it as much. I think eventually I put one boat behind the other one, like we're lining them up, and one's gonna go in first and then the other. The other thing that I thought of is maybe facing one boat one way going towards the water, and the other boat like they're taking it off the water. But I ended up putting it one behind the other, and I like that more, I think, because it just made it look like more like a line. And here's where the build kind of was starting to feel a lot better and coming together. And it's when I put the pillar where it still's at, and then I put the barrel where you see it. And because then the barrel acts kind of like a fence into the build, and then we still got the lights and all that, and then slowly this build came together, and I was like, yes, this is good. Now, James, we need like a Jeep. You add a Jeep into Dinkum, because hey, we're in Australia, you know. Let's put like a Jeep, like a car, something like that, and I think that will be really great, and then I can use that in my parking lots and stuff like that. But here we are just doing a little walk, a little tour of everything that we did. Don't forget that there's going to be a few more changes still. With that back row is going to be 4, so if you're making that back row, you follow along, make it 4 wide, and then the sidewalk as well. So if you're following doing the overpass right here, we're also going to be moving that and changing that just one more towards the back, because then we're making that row wider. But yeah, this was the main thing of this build, right? We're still in the entry area, but we're getting close to past this point, and we're gonna branching out. I still don't know what to do on this section right here. I haven't let the water in here just yet, because I still haven't decided if I want to take all this there, or if I want to do something there. So that's still something that I need to figure out. But but we're still looking, just looking everything so far, how the entryway is looking. The double bridge looks great. Look at that view right here with the water coming in under the bridge. You see it through the bridge, you see the little dock. It's just, everything is coming together. So I think the entry area of this coastal town is taking shape. Yeah, we still don't have any buildings, we still don't have anything like that yet, but that's coming. That's coming, and once we start heading towards the left, right, or towards the back, we're gonna start having more of that. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit a like, subscribe if you want to see more videos, and we're gonna see you next time. All right, see you later. Bye.